Hi there. How's it going? So I don't usually do this, but I wanted to do um, a tarot reading for you actually because I was reading your status that you put up on Cromer about how you're bored with the whole site and bored with the gay community in general. And aren't we all bored with the gay community? So you aren't alone there. I realize that I am not your type. I am not remotely your type, I assume. But that's okay. I don't really care. And I kind of just wanted to do this because I'm a nice guy and I felt like it. So I hope you don't mind. And I'm here today to try to give you some advice about your love life, I guess, and your current situation. Because what I found was kind of interesting, and I thought, well, why not share it with them? So I don't know your name. So sorry I can't refer to you as your actual name, but I will do my best here to make this accessible to you. So this is what I got for you, my friend. And I'm just going to go through and kind of talk about each thing that we pulled up. I just did a basic, pretty basic reading for you. I am a professional tarot reader on the side, kind of a hobby turned small business. So I'm not trying to pull your leg or anything, or pull the wool over your eyes, as we say. Okay, these are the main cards you got. And on the bottom of your deck was this guy. So what I got from your reading mostly was that you just feel like there aren't that what you're looking for isn't coming your way. You feel like there is just not a lot of opportunity in a way for you. Like there just aren't a lot of options for romantic interest for you, which strikes me as odd considering you're so handsome and so good looking. Clearly, it just it doesn't seem logical to me. But that is how you're feeling. You feel like there is this lack of real emotional quality in your relationships that you have with people, and I think you've become pretty skeptical about things. You have this guy in your past, which tells me that you, for the most part, have really been I think that you have been very focused on a particular type of person that you think you want to be with, to be very honest with you. And I get that also because of the devil that you have here is how you see yourself. You know you're an attractive person, you know that you have sex appeal, and you know that you can use that to your advantage. You're also a pretty sexual guy, clearly based from your pictures. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think that you actually, in some ways, are perpetuating the kind of limitation that you seem to be plagued by. And I also get this because the High Priestess here, on the bottom here, is telling me that you are not seeing the bigger picture in your relationships, even though what you want above all is a deeper connection with someone. You want to have a um, more of a spiritual connection instead of just a physical connection. But at the same time, the energy that you're putting out there into the universe is very much about sexuality, and you are marketing yourself, so to speak, as a sexual being and as someone who is kind of just interested in the physical. And I don't know how much you are listening really to your heart about what your real needs are. And to be honest with you, I think that this may come from some. You have the Emperor reversed on the bottom of your deck, which tells me that you, in some way, are actually feeling. I don't know if part of this is because you have ever had issues of lacking confidence or lacking of self-esteem, particularly in regards to your concept of your own masculinity. And I don't know if this is something that you grew up with and this maybe was a motivator for you to get as big as you have, to try to make up for that. But, that it does tell me that you, in some ways, are still kind of figuring that out. You're still learning about that aspect of yourself, um, and how you can work well with others, so to speak, in relationships. And I see that you are attracting the kind of guy, by doing this, you've been attracting the kind of guy that basically just wants a cheap thrill and is really just in it for the ride and isn't necessarily interested in perpetuating anything with you. And so I think that that is also contributing to your sense of boredom, which I see here. You kind of just want to be done with it, and you are definitely thinking about just leaving everything behind and trying to find something else. But the thing is, if you continue to look for the wrong things and not really look more broadly or more intuitively, you're only going to keep coming up with the same problem no matter where you go or where you look. It's the problem is how you're looking and not necessarily where you're looking. Okay, so the problem isn't Grommer. The problem isn't the gay community. Yes, the gay community sucks. Yes, Grommer sucks. But Grommer will give you, and the world will give you whatever you put into it, in any area of life. And I think that if you're going to continue, which I see you continuing, if you're going to continue to kind of advertise yourself as this very hot commodity, which, you are, you're a very attractive guy, that is no secret. But I see you as continuing to almost seek attention like that. And I think that this is not necessarily because you feel that this is like your higher calling. I think that there are some people who have a certain kind of sexual energy that calls them to be with different people because that is like a spiritual thing for them. And I don't know that you're necessarily tapping into that your power of attraction that could be used so much more to your advantage. I don't know if you're using it right or going to be continuing to use it right. I see you as kind of continuing to attract the same kind of guy that you have been wary about for so long, that you're kind of over and you're kind of skeptical about. I see a lot of Saturn in your reading, which tells me that your perspective is very limited. And your perspective is not as broad as it could be. And so you're missing a lot of opportunities that you could find more real satisfaction from instead of just a passing thing or a passing validation of your masculinity. Any amount of hooking up or showing off your body is not going to reinforce your confidence level for you, and it also isn't going to land you the kind of relationship you're looking for, to be very honest with you. And I'm not trying to say all this to read you. I'm not trying to be shady. I'm really just trying to help you and trying to help give you some different perspective on this. Sometimes when we are dealing with different problems, sometimes just having a different perspective can help, and so I hope that that this makes sense. Your overall outcome is good. I actually think that you're going to end up finding the kind of guy that you want, who is more reliable, and also someone who also embodies your physical ideals, your ideals of body type and that sort of thing, and fitness and what have you. I think you're going to find that guy. I think your disappointment is going to end eventually. I think you just have to wait it out, and I think you need to be looking for something deeper, because that's what you really want. And I think that isn't inaccessible to you either. I think the universe is trying to give you options, but you seem very determined to pursue only like one course of action. And hey, I'm culpable of it too, so believe me, I am very much the same way in my pursuit of other people, and it isn't easy, and it's pretty problematic, and it actually is very limiting, and it is depressing. You know, I think it's very easy to say to oneself, there are no opportunities for me, there are no other guys that I'm really interested in, when in fact there probably are. We just don't want to look at them, and we don't want to see them because they don't fit whatever mold we have imagined for our ideal partner, or, you know, boyfriend, whatever, lover, etc. So I encourage you to be more open-minded and to try to think more outside of the box, because I think that could help for you, and I think it will make your situation seem less depressing and less less limiting, and I think it's going to feel more freeing, which is good for you. And I also think, you know, down the road, finding that type of guy is going to be better for your self-confidence, for sure. But I think that's also something that, you know, no person can really fix for you. And with the sun reversed in your overall outcome, I don't know how strong that boost in confidence from another guy is really going to be. It's going to be kind of temporary. And so I think you need to look within yourself more for that inner strength and inner manlyhood that you are perpetuating aesthetically. You know, I think that you have to find that within yourself as well more. And don't I don't know. I don't want to see you selling yourself so short. I think it's partially why you've been receiving such criticism from other people, because I do wonder if, you know, you are a little closed to people energetically, if you are a little more myopic than you may be realizing, and this may be partially why you have been receiving negativity from people on the site, or in the community in general, just because you are, well, to be honest, you're more about you than you are about other people, in this situation, and that's just, you know, you are focusing very much on your own needs, and you aren't, and they're basic needs. You know, I think you need to look more broadly, and more profoundly, instead of being so superficial. You know, you can't yell at the gay community for being superficial and then be superficial yourself in any way, you know. And again, I'm not trying to be shady. I'm just telling you what's here, and I'm just trying to be helpful. So, you know, you can do with this as you will. I don't really care if you really take this advice and do anything with it. It doesn't, no skin off my back, to be sure. But, you know, it might be food for thought for you, and I hope your situation gets better. I'm sure you're a nice guy. You're very handsome. I'm sure that the right person is going to come along for you eventually, because there's no reason why he shouldn't. So I wish you the best of luck. That's about all I got for you today. And yeah, I hope you don't mind my taking the time to do this for you, and I hope it helps. So all best to you, good luck with everything, and this video is going to be private. Obviously, I'm going to leave it unlisted so no one can view it except you and me, because obviously I wouldn't do that publicly for someone without asking me first. Obviously, that's just weird. So yeah, let me know what you think, and peace.